A number of states have issued that shelter-at-home order, and is there, sorry, what? I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and is there a point when Nebraska will do the same thing? And again, the name of the game here, folks, is really those large public groups. Okay, so what you're really trying to do is make sure that large groups of people, and when we say large, we mean 11 or more, right, don't get together. That's what the name of the game is. That's how you slow the spread of the virus. That's what our plan does. Our plan limits the number of people getting together. We put together this plan on, well, we got briefed on the virus March 3rd. We put together the plan starting March 6th. We implemented it starting March 13th. We were well ahead of the game versus other states that have the shelter-in-place orders out there. Our plan, as I mentioned, in some ways is more restrictive than some of those shelter-in-place orders. For example, Florida and the religious services. And so we don't have a shelter-in-place as part of our plan. When we worked with our experts at UNMC, that was never part of the discussion as needing to do it. It was very much around limiting the size of groups that are getting together. Now, as I mentioned, we saw the Surgeon General talking about staying at home. Yeah, that's still a good idea. You know, again, with the limits on public gatherings, staying at home is a really good idea. We talked about this yesterday with shopping. Send one person shopping. But we have no plans to do a shelter in place here in Nebraska. It's not part of our plan. We're working our current plan. And that's what has helped us so far, at least, keep the spread of the virus down, slowing the spread of the virus. Again, those cases, or at least the last 3 days, have been stable. We do expect them to go up, but we are continually reinforcing with people, don't get together in large groups.
Chris Dunker also asked, what is the process for people to quarantine at the university?
So Chris Dunker asked, what is the process for people to quarantine at the university? And I'm going to have to defer that one to President Carter or Chancellor Gold with regard to what their specific steps are at the university and let them get into it in detail. I hate to give out bad information. I can tell you my son, Roscoe, who goes to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, is at home doing classes remotely for the rest of the semester. Anything else?
I think he was referring to the beds that were contracted.
Oh, with regard to the beds. Okay, so, sorry, I thought he meant students. So apparently that was about the beds that we have contracted with. So again, we're going to be working through, we've just signed the contract today with the University of Nebraska. We still have to worry about working on staffing and all the other protocols that will go along with that to be able to actually receive people. And we'll give you further updates on that as we go along. But certainly part of what we want to do is make sure, again, this is a place where people can quarantine. So we will have the appropriate staff to make sure that happens, that those folks can get food service and janitorial service and to the extent they need medical care, that as well.